Sancho finally back from country. Anthony started to get too comfy, so we had to switch to a whole new front three.
Sub him off.
What? Start of the season, moving bumpy. Now all the mandems chilling in Wembley with a rich tea dipping in some Tetley.
King Sugars.
What? Sancho finally back from country. Anthony started to get too comfy, so we had to switch to a whole new front three.
Sub him off.
What? Start of the season, moving bumpy. Now all the mandems chilling in Wembley with a rich tea dipping in some Tetley.
King Sugars.
What? Yo, this is the OT99 bantering where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Look, Manchester United did the job today. Smoke got served the second leg. We got our late 2 goals. We're in the final, baby. We're going to be seeing Newcastle. Jeez. It's going to be a decent game. You know what I mean? Decent game. But look, Edwin, you've got to commend the guy. He's come in. Expectation was rock bottom, really. Just qualify for Champions League at best. And a lot of our fans didn't know if we'll even get that when he first came in. And look, we find ourselves in a position to still make top 4 in a cup final now. We're still in all competitions, the only Premier League team to be in all competitions right about now. And you know what I mean? It's testament to what Erik ten Hag's doing. So look, I'm happy, man. We're in the final, Wembley. Let's take on Newcastle, knock them down a peg, hopefully, and just get this big W, man. But Enki, how you feeling, man? Clearly you're chirpy. Clearly you're happy.
Yeah, we're going to a cup final. I think it's the first time in 5 years we're going to a cup final. So look, we've been starving of silverware, man. We've been starving of silverware. So we take anything at the moment, man. And as I said to you, credit to the manager, man. Because one thing about it is if you trying to win teams, especially a team that want to potentially go on and win stuff, you need to say the winning mentality. And they start from moment like this, going to the cup final, going to do it in a short space of time that he's been here. It showed him he's a winner. And the thing is, Ten Hag, I think for the last 3 years, has been winning trophy. So this is not it might be the player, it might be Manchester United as a football club, our first final in about 5 years. Ten Hag, this is being his daily routine. He's been going to finals every single season, whether it was in Holland or in England. He's showing, look, I can do it over there, but when I come here too, I can also win the cups too, man. That's exactly what he's doing now.
Look, I'm gassed. Look, Edwin, what's your thoughts, man? Look, I looked at the lineup, and obviously the standout people on the bench was Martial, Sancho. Do you get me? And then obviously you had Rashford resting. Look, what was your feeling, man, when you saw the super subs coming off that bench? The super subs.
You know what? It looked good because I think one thing that we've all mentioned is the lack of depth in it. So it was actually good that we saw Martial on the bench. We saw Sancho actually finally get back on the bench because we know he's been back training, and you even saw Rashford on the bench. So with a full squad, we actually got depth, and we still got the new signing to come in as well. You know what I mean?
You got a glimpse of him on the stat. You got a glimpse of him in the crowd.
Yeah, they said that he wasn't in the squad because they're still sorting out his work permit, isn't it? So they couldn't play him. But it was good. You know what? It shows some depth because one thing we have lacked over the last couple of weeks is if something's not going right, especially attacking wise, there was nothing coming off the bench. Apart from Garnacho. After Garnacho, there was a lot of defenders and midfielders that we're bringing on. It wasn't creative players, but now we've got, Martial and Sancho, and, that's big for us. But, Martial looks sharp, but my problem is always rushing him back. I hope this time he's back and ready. Not that we've rushed him back and he gets another niggle.
Do you know what, watching Martial today, I can't say that
today,
he looked like he didn't have an injury, but obviously he ain't going to last. He ain't going to last more than 3-4 games.
It showed the levels for us up front because there was so much. There's difference when he plays, when he's the fluidity of the football. You know what I mean? So,
bro, we play Weghorst, and I feel like we don't play to his strengths enough. We don't utilize him enough. I know that Weghorst is working hard. He drops deep. He likes to get involved in play. But we don't cross the... Look, the one time I saw... Who was the ball? Who crossed him? Was it Casemiro? Or someone like that? Whipped in a ball for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He got his head on the ball, hit the post. Look, when you whip in that ball, I think in the previous game, where I think it was Luke Shaw whipped in a ball. Weghorst got on the end of that as well. I feel like when we whip in the ball, we activate Weghorst's aerial prowess, and I don't think that we do that enough. And what's the point?
I actually think like he could play well with Martial. You know, I fit Martial just playing off him because I don't know about Martial being the main striker, but him playing off him. Because what Martial does, I realize, he's good at playing those little 1-2 balls around the box, and even playing the through balls running into the box. You know what I mean? So he's quite good.
Did you see that little dummy? Did you see that little check he done in the box? Hey! I was just like, just little things like that he does.
AK's not convinced. AK's like, I need to see him play 4 consecutive games before
But look, I ain't gonna lie. When you look at Martial, when he's fit,
you see the difference, isn't it?
You can see the difference, man, in the attack, man, when he's linking up. And you know what? Yeah, look, Sancho, was that surprise as well. NK, look, Sancho came on. I was expecting him to go right wing.
He went number 10.
Bruno went right wing. Sancho went number 10. What's your views on that? Like, do you see that being more of an ongoing thing, Sancho playing number 10? And how does that even impact on the likes of Bruno, the likes of Donny, maybe even Sabitzer? Like, how does that work, man, going forward?
Well, in terms of like Sancho playing there, I think it's a conversation that have been had among the fan base because kind of like look at his skill set and people always feel like, because of his lack of like explosiveness on the wing, maybe the 10 could have been a role for him. But it's one of those ones where as a fan you kind of like talk about it, but then not really expect it to kind of like happen. So to see the manager kind of like done it today, I was a little bit surprised by that. But then again, if you watch our game this season, that number 10 role, Ten Hag has kind of like tinkered with it quite a lot of the times. You know, he played a lot of players there. Rashford has played there at times too. What do you call it? Donny has played there too. He tried even the youngster Kobe Menu there too. Martial had played there too. So it's been a position. I'm not quite sure exactly what he wants from that role, but whatever it is, I think at times he just feel like Bruno's skill set is much better to go on the right. Well, depending on what the game anyway. So I think tactically he feel like he's trying to have like a plan B. Whereas, if I start Bruno as a 10, it's not working. I can shift him to the right wing for him to span the crosses in, which is something that Anthony don't really do a lot of when he play on that one side too. So it'll be interesting to see how Sancho is used in that number 10 role, if that's what he's going to be used there. But as I said to you, everybody like thought was going to go on the, what do you call it, on the right hand. I had a feeling he wasn't going to put him on the right hand because it's not the first time he done it, but I ain't gonna lie. I thought maybe he was going to play on the left and maybe Rashford go on the right. Personally, though,
he looked comfortable. He looked comfortable at 10 for a guy that has got good passing, good decision making, can use both feet. He looks very comfortable. He's a technical player. He's not a guy that bursts down the wing. I feel like that position needs to be explored more with Sancho in particular. And I feel like, you know what? When I was looking at them subs come on the pitch here, I was just like, this is looking like a strong outfield 11 on the pitch right now. And I feel like Manchester United, man, with this type of squad depth, if we can maintain it, no injuries, I feel like we've got a really good opportunity to be picking up the trophies, to be doing a top 4 race. You know what I mean? That title charge only lasted for like a week, but do you know what I mean? I feel like we've got ample squad depth. Look, in the first half though, I can't lie, Manchester United look a bit wasteful, a bit flat. I saw Garnacho getting a lot of opportunities on the left-hand side, but his final ball wasn't decisive, wasn't effective. Anthony was having an all right game where he would, more in the second half actually. I think he'll pick out certain times he'll do like a reverse through ball, he's really good at doing that reverse pass. And obviously he tried to attempt and do his whole drop a shoulder cut in and then curl it into the top right hand corner. He done a bit of that. Weghorst wasn't really getting fed, but it's the second half where things came alive, man. Where we saw those triple subs. You know what I mean? We saw Aaron Wan-Bissaka playing inverted now. I think he's been given that full-on instruction now to play inverted, supporting Anthony in that sense as well. We saw Shaw doing that at times as well as getting forward here and there. And I just feel like those subs that look, I feel like there's clearly levels to this, right? We saw Garnacho try and we see him take on his man, but Rashford comes on, right? Within the space of 15 minutes, he's had a massive impact. 2 assists, one for Fred and one for Martial. Do you know what I mean? And it just goes to show, like, we've got these guys that we can bring off the bench where the quality is just different. The levels is just different. They somehow find themselves in a position
with me in terms of
impact the game.
Yeah, today's performance. Look, we won the game, but there was 1 or 2 things that kind of like worried me. And
how's that?
Because obviously, I just felt like our best opportunity was always on the counter. So with players like obviously Rashford coming on, you saw kind of like the difference, because in the first half, in the build up, when we were building up, it was always going to like the fullbacks and then or it was always kind of like going for like a long ball. You know, we couldn't really build through the middle, and that's when you need that directness there. I knew second half, because obviously Nottingham Forest, they just set up a low block for us to pick, and we're trying to break them down. But second half, look, they've already lost the game 3-0 at halftime, so they had to come out. And once they came out, it became an open game, and that's when you saw us kind of like try. But question is, if it was a normal Premiership game where the team didn't really necessarily need to come out to win it, and they sat back, how do we then? It's still the same problem. Get the first goal, let them come out shoot, because when they pack up like that, we're still struggling to kind of like break them down, man. And I hope Fred had a good game today. He was okay today, but again, all the players first half non-existent. Second half, when the game became open, you saw all of them kind of like come alive too. So
it was more of what it was more. It was more of the usual, wasn't it, from Manchester United? So we saw the Brunos again wasteful certain passes, but then making that killer pass outside of the boot. See, this is what Bruno does, and this is what I tell guys. I know what I'm getting with Bruno. Bruno, we saw everyone complaining wasteful and stuff like that, giving away the pass, and then he just goes and pull out a worldie. Like he does that. You see that pass that he done for Rashford. And when he headed it back to Fred to tap in, yeah, that pass, if anyone does that pass, yeah, they'll be like, wow, amazing headlines. Bruno is because he's so wasteful and he does things like with the outside of the beat so much and it don't come off. When it does come off, it's just like,
I don't think it's his wastefulness that is the problem. Well, for me, in a way, it's not the wastefulness. It's about the positions in which you try those stuff. You know, there is when you get to the final third and you try those stuff, it's acceptable. But if the option is not there, it's acceptable. I think sometimes our problem is that maybe he will be like in the halfway line and he will try something that's just not on. But when you in that final third is when that's the position that you take the risk. So if you take the risk over there, that's always fine. But to me, I demand more from him in terms of like the combination play with other players, and then like the movement of the ball movement and that. But I don't know. At times, I just feel like under this manager, maybe I think he's just feel a bit more comfortable sometimes on the right wing than as a 10 back. As he said, he's a guy that probably will do a job for the team. So hopefully the manager kind of like will always use him for tactical kind of like twerking here and there.
Look, I'm happy that we got over the line unscathed. You know, we got games thick and fast, as you all know, every 3-4 days. We managed to bring guys off, rest guys. Look, I thought personally, Casemiro as well. I got to call out his pass, man. What he done, that nice weighted heavy. He won the ball back, a nice weighted pass to Rashford and the intellect. Do you know what it is? Rashford and Martial showed them signs of what I like when they link up well. And I think with Martial, he's just like, he brings everyone into the game, man. That guy is like the glue. He's like the Firmino when Liverpool were firing and they had like Mane and Salah. He really does. When he's on it, he brings everyone. He brings it alive. Do you know what I mean? He's like the activator, man. He just brings everyone alive, brings everyone into the game. So hopefully we can keep him fit. But Edwin, look, yeah, he was your man of the match, man.
Maybe Rashford came on, changed the game for us. 2 assists.
Jeez, look at that quick.
But do you know what?
The boy Rash, protect him at all costs.
The other, Martial done well as well. He gave us different elements when it came to, because when people like Martial and even Sancho came, they made the attack flow a bit more, and there was more speed and accuracy in the passing up there. You know what I mean? So I'll give it to Rash.
Nah, I think.
No. Maybe I'll do it NK. Maybe I'll give it to Fred because Fred needs all the confidence. All the games coming up.
Fred had a good game, bro. Look, he's getting how many goals has he got now? It's like 4 in all competitions, 2 assists.
He done well. Yeah.
Yeah.
The defense played alright, but I'll go with Rash.
Man, like Starboy Rash, protect him at all costs. NK, who's your man of the match?
Well, my man of the match is simple, man. Jadon Sancho, man. Look, it's Jadon Sancho. He's back. He's playing on as the number 10.
This guy.
And if you know, look, it supports 1 or 2 staff. So, look, Sancho at the 10.
This guy,
man
bro.
of the match. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you are something else, bro. Look, I got to give it to Varane, you know. I think Varane had a nice, you know, he went under the radar. I feel like with Varane, he played a nice, intelligent game, man. I saw a lot of the time where he was putting his body in the way of the attacker. That's just doing the smart things, drawing out a foul when needed. You know, he's just a very intelligent defender, man, and plays with elegance, calmness, man. And I feel like it just goes unnoticed, man. I was watching him, even from first half, I was just like, yeah, this guy's going to be my man of the match. Like, he just simplifies it and calms that defense, man. I think he's a big reason of why we just keep getting clean sheets. I know there was an opportunity where Nottingham Forest almost gave us a bit of, you know, made the game a little bit nervy when, you know, I think, is it Dennis struck the ball, it hit Surridge, deflected off him, but it looked like it was going in, it looked like it was whistling into the net. But yeah, I feel like, you know, Heaton didn't have much to do, and I feel like our defense has had a lot to do with it. And I feel like Varane's just been a really good leader at the back, man. He had a really good game, so I'll give it to him. But honourable mention to man them like Rash, protect him at all costs. Fred, do you know what I mean? Sancho, welcome back. We hope to see you doing the smoke. You get me? Keep your head down. You know what I mean? And look, we push on, man. We push on. We got Palace next. You know, we got some revenge there because that late equaliser that they done, we won't forget that. Eric Ten Hag won't forget that. So we got unfinished business over there, man. But you know what? Edwin, NK, close us out, man.
NK, where we going to, NK?
Wembley! We're going to Wembley!
Guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow, let us know your thoughts on this game, man. First half, second half, what was more better for you, man? Who was your man of the match? And yeah, just share, man. Until next time. Peace.